Hey y'all, it's Megan from Made for Mermaids, and today we're sewing a Heidi Halter top. You're going to need to cut one front piece on the fold, one back piece on the fold, and then you'll also need to cut one front and back at the shelf bra cut line. Then you'll need one piece of elastic for the shelf bra, and then some clear elastic for the back if you want, and then you'll need these swimsuit bra hooks for the top back. So first step is to put your front pieces together, aligning the raw edges. And we're going to sew the neckline and also the arm side. And both of these are going to get sewn with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. So you'll just put them together like this and then sew each arm side and the neckline with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Then you're going to flip it right side out, and you can use your iron to press those seams, and then we'll set the front piece aside and we'll start working on our back piece. So you'll take your main back piece and your shelf bra back piece and put them right sides together, aligning those top raw edges, and you're going to sew the top straight edge with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. You can choose to add clear elastic to this seam if you like. It's really just personal preference and on what kind of fabric you used. Both of my fabrics are a little bit thin, especially my shelf bra fabric, so I decided to add some clear elastic here. Make sure to exercise the elastic before you add it. If you have 1/4 inch clear elastic, that's going to be the best since it's a 1/4 inch seam. And you can either choose to add it after you sew the seam, like I'm doing here with your sewing machine, or you can add it straight with your serger or your sewing machine when you sew it the first time. I also don't like to add mine to my seam, so you can see that I cut it about 1/2 inch short on each edge so that the elastic's not in the side seam. Your next step is going to be to sew the side seam. So you're going to open up the main and lining pieces like this and align those seams at the top, and then you'll sew each side with a 1/2 inch seam allowance, creating those side seams. The next step is going to be finishing the shelf bra. So you're going to 1/4 your shelf bra, so find the center, front and back, and then find the 1/4 points, which may be the side seams for your size or they may not. And then you'll set that aside, and you're going to overlap the raw edges of your elastic by 1/2 inch and sew them together to form a loop. And then you will also go ahead and 1/4 that shelf bra elastic. After you find the 1/4 points of both the shelf bra and the elastic, you're going to put them right sides together and sew them together. After you sew your elastic on, you are going to flip it towards the wrong side and then top stitch it again in place. If you need help sewing picot elastic, then I will link a video down below that goes in to a lot of detail on how to sew the picot elastic. Your next step is going to be finishing the neckline. So you'll take one of your straps and you're going to fold it back towards the wrong side 3/4 of an inch. So you'll measure 3/4 of an inch, press it back, and then you're going to secure it in place at the edge with a narrow zigzag. Then you're going to grab your bra hook, and I went ahead and hooked mine on, so I made sure I was attaching it the correct way. And you're going to loop the other strap around the bra hook, measure again 3/4 of an inch, and then you will secure it again with a narrow zigzag. If you're making the mini or dress version, then you will sew the side seams of your skirt together and then attach the skirt to your bodice. Next, we're going to hem either the top or your skirt piece by pressing a 1/2 inch of the raw edge to the wrong side and then edge stitch to hold that hem in place. Then give it a good press. And that's it. I hope you love your Heidi top. If you have any questions, please leave them down below and I will try to answer. As always, if you make a Heidi, we would love to see them posted in our Facebook group or on Instagram at Made for Mermaids.